It's YouTube Wednesday. It's YouTube Wednesday. It's YouTube Wednesday. One of the things I have to make for my haunted house this year is some radio equipment for an abandoned research station or a wrecked research station. I don't have time. I probably could find it pretty cheap if I had time to run around, but it's one of those things I didn't plan on needing. So now that I need it in a hurry, I'm just going to make it in a hurry. So I've gathered together some boxes that are kind of shaped like radio equipment. This is a DVD player box, king cake box, laundry detergent, a Spider-Man tent box, and just some cardboard boxes and some various things. I'm going to tape these up smooth and put faces and dials on them and make these be my radio equipment. So here I go. In order to make this more realistic, I'm going to do some cutouts on some of these boxes in order to show dials and equipment, things like that. So I have a few printouts that I did that I just Google image searched dials and gauges and power knobs, and I put them in Photoshop really quick and I put them together on a document. But now I can cut these out and make cutouts and put them in. For this box, I had in mind that this was going to be an old style speaker. So I have this piece of decorative metal that I'm going to put inside of this. But I got to cut a nice big circle in this first. So that's what I'm doing next. I just used my bucket to get my circle shape. That's pretty round, and it's going to look really good once I get it painted and the screen in there. I'm going to go ahead and paint this box now. While this dries, paint some more. I have procured my wife's paper cutter from her scrapbooking stuff in order to get good straight lines. The more detail that I have on this, the more of these buttons, the more things I have on the radio equipment itself, the less people are going to look at it and notice it. So that's why I'm going to cut out a lot ahead of time, that way I can get all my boxes painted and this applied. So this guy is now dry, and I'll make him look like a speaker. Just going to cut a square out of this screen that'll fit inside of that circle. I could see this pattern having a bit of a retro look to it and maybe being inside of an old speaker. going to hot glue around this edge and press it in place. But first, I've got to spray inside of there black. That looks a lot more like an old speaker to a portable radio than it used to, but I still need to add some details to it. A little bit of spray adhesive to make these stick. And then I'll go back and paint those, the hot glue raised edge I just did. I'll go back and paint that in a bit. But there's my old speaker. Bought a 25-foot phone cord because I can use it for stuff. This is a plastic switch plate cover. Okay, drill the hole in my plate. Pull my cut into speaker wire through. For phone wire, phone cord. Dollar store, by the way. And I'm putting a good knot in that. Then I poked a little hole in the box to make sure the knot will fit in. Now I'm going to hot glue this edge on. rotate so I can see our hero edge there. Stage 1 on this, done. This is tubular vinyl gasket. Okay, I've got these pieces cut out. They're going to trim this box, and I'm going to paint those a nice silver chrome color. I'm not going for the modern look of black stereo equipment. I'm going for the 40s, 50s, military issue, you know, research station radio. And that is another portion of the radio. For the next thing I'm going to do, I want the old-fashioned microphone that the guy would talk into that kind of has a stand. So I've got a piece of a 1/2-inch pipe and a pipe flange, and I'm going to screw that in together. Simple as that is, that's my old-fashioned mic stand. But I can also drill this into my desk so that a guest can't run off with it. We'll take the sticker off first. I have a crumb cup that goes on a sink, and it goes inside the drain, and it's got a little post, you can pull it up. That's going to be the end of my microphone that you talk into. So. And I have Dixie cups, which will be the bell part. Just wanted to figure out where they went. And I just used 2 cups to make it stronger. have a few more pieces to do. One of the things I'm going to do to add to this is these would be the pieces that they put over their ears in order to hear incoming radio calls and whatnot. While there is a speaker, I'm also going to have the ear things because it's just another iconic thing to have with it. So I'm going to take this parts off and get them painted real quick so that I can then attach them back. And I'll make this bar look metal instead of plastic because that's more period. I'm going for like, 70s. Let those dry, put them back together. Okay, some finishing touches here. I got to put the last of the trim onto these two sides with the hot glue gun. Should go fast. I can see that I've got a color gap right here because I happened to paint the bottom of that box as opposed to the top of it. So I'm going to hit that. And to show some wear and tear, this kind of furniture and these things, they got beat up a little bit. So I'm going to spray a little bit of silver down on the ground and just dry brush the corners of this to show that some paint got knocked off. And then I'll dust it with spray paint to make it look a little more aged. And this just implies that there's green paint on this metal object and some of it just got knocked off. I'm going to make a spot now where my microphone plugs in, and I pick this one. Just made the hole small enough for that to stick right in. So now it looks like my microphone is plugged into the unit. Alright, so now I have headphones that go with this set. I have my radio, I have an old speaker, I have a microphone. Alright, the only other thing I'm going to do is just mist this down with brown spray paint, just like I did with the silver and hit the edges, just in order to give this a bit of age. This is just a brown that I happen to have. Kind of junky this up a little bit, make it look like it's been around a little longer than it has. When I'm putting this in the set, there's things that I want to put around it. What would the radio operator have? He might have a clipboard. Just set a clipboard on top of it, kind of haphazardly. Maybe a coffee mug spilled because I'm showing distress. So this is one set element, but the busier that I make this set, the less they're going to look at all the details of this. I could take bottle caps and glue on here, paint them silver or black first like their knobs, but I'm pretty happy with the general look of it. I think for what it needs to do, that's it.
Honey, have you seen my paper cutter?